This is Brother Talking Tesla. I got my man Sadat here. Once again, we're going to talk Tesla and its part in this Elon Musk ecosystem of AI. Right, we're gonna talk about that. We really got into other episodes. We really got into kind of the BYD. We got into the some of the other competitors, just in the truck offerings. Talked a little bit about the FSD, but really started to dive into like Optimus, right? The Optimus. We talked a little bit about the Robo Taxi, but you and I both know, like, as we understand it, like the Tesla is almost like the gateway in, right? Right, with that and the SpaceX, and it just opens up, it just opens up the world to what it could be, right? What it could be, and from I believe in our first episode, the whole thing was it just brought back a simple question: why?
Wow, right?
Like why? Like why? Why is why does it have to be that way?
Right.
And we continue to talk about that why, right? Why, right? But yeah, man, let's get at it. Let's get at it, man. So, talk to me about the Cybertruck in the neighborhood, man. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So I know we talked offline, and it's interesting. So there's so many residents or homes in my subdivision that have Teslas, and I think for the first time I saw the first Tesla driving through my subdivision, and in fact it's just a couple of homes down. I gotta go and meet the new person with the Cybertruck, right? Specifically the Cybertruck. So very excited to see that because, again, you go out to the mall, you go to the supermarket, you see a few people, but it's never so, it's the first time I'm seeing it so close to where I live. I think I even have one person in my network that has a Cybertruck, but to now see one in my subdivision, now it's like just around the corner now. I'm starting to think, hey, maybe it's going to be 2 or 3 more within weeks from now. But the interesting part is seeing that ramp up again, right, between Lucid, and even my neighbor across the street has two Rivians, and I think there's probably about 3 more in our subdivision. But just given the newest introduction of the Cybertruck, and to already see it, so just one in my subdivision, I think is a big step forward in terms of how quickly the introduction is of this new product. So really excited about that. And like I said, I hope I get to meet that neighbor, and maybe we can add them, and we can interview them for the show.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I saw one for the first time in our neighborhood as well.
Okay.
Yes, it was yesterday.
All right.
And we actually saw one at church last week. Actually, no, last week and today.
Oh, at church.
Sunday at church. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So somebody's got a cyber at church. Yeah, man.
All right.
So, but it's like you said, it's interesting to see the ramp up.
Yep.
And and even through all of the talk, I know it had a big recall a few weeks ago, but just being able to work through that, right? So, I think it's got a lot of potential. I haven't gone in it myself, right?
Right.
But I'm interested to hear what people have to say about, get firsthand knowledge about folks driving it, right, in their experience.
And so the one person I told you that's in my network, I mean, so far great feedback. Would like to hopefully get him on the show, or I think his wife on the show. Right. But I can say so far so good in terms of feedback. Very excited about the car, the performance, all of the the bells and whistles, and I know we're eventually getting to the point we talk a little bit more detail about the technology.
Right.
But I think it's that personal experience is what makes it exciting to really, to talk to people. To do the research, all right, anybody can do the research, but it's that
Yeah.
personal, direct. And again, if we rewind the tape, just remember the first time you jumped in a Tesla, right? The first time, I mean, I'm
Right.
thinking about the first time I drove it. You can tell me anything about it, but it's that real experience that
Right.
excites me about the product.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's right, man. So yeah, we got to work that out.
Yeah,
You got to get him, Sadat.
gotta get them.
You got to get him, man.
I try to put on my best salesman.
You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it, man. Hey, we're all organic.
Yeah,
I definitely like talking to people about, talking to other owners about the vehicles, just to get their, like you said, just to get their experience,
right.
what they like, what they don't like, right, and why they choose to stick with it, right. Um, so yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, but I was thinking about you know just to step away from the Cybertruck for a second,
Yep.
and I think I mentioned before offline how many times when I leave my subdivision where I live and there are it never fails. I see a Tesla, no matter what. Leaving the subdivision, coming back in, I always see a Tesla. And,
Hmm.
I'm not sure if it's the area, or if it's just Florida, or whatever the case may be. If we were in Detroit, maybe we'd see the same thing. I don't know. But all I know is where I live, I see a Tesla every time I leave, my
Right.
house, my place, where I live, my area.
Right.
But one other thing that I noticed, and maybe something if all of our viewers out there, maybe you want to check out as you're driving, I can't find the right words to express this, but I'm going to try. It seems like for every separate thought that I have while I'm driving, I will see another Tesla. So, for example, if I'm driving down the street and I see another Tesla driving alongside me, the moment that Tesla leaves, a new Tesla will re-enter, and or and or it could just be a separate thought. So maybe I saw that Tesla, I'm like, wow, that's a Tesla over there. And then I'll just look over to the left, and then boom, there's like another Tesla.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So it's interesting to see again at the growth of and honestly, as I think about that, every time one of the earnings calls that comes, every time there's an anticipated earnings call, I'm very interested to see if what I'm seeing with my own eyes
Mm.
shows up in the numbers. Now, of
Right.
course, granted, they got other markets, China, Europe, etc.
Right.
But in the U.S., it seems like there's still strong growth opportunity here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the way that they're positioned, right, the way that they're positioned, um, just in their value stream, right, they can pull different levers, right, whether it be on dropping the price of the car,
Right,
playing with the interest rates. I saw where they dropped them back down to 1.99.
right,
Right. So there's a lot of different ways, and even in the past, they've given, I think they've had a referral program. So
right.
you got free supercharging for a certain period of time. So there's so many ways that they can continue to entice people to get the vehicles. Right. So I think that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. But yeah, man, let's talk about that. This whole auto taxi thing. Right.
Oh, yeah, that's exciting,
Yeah,
right? So
let's dive
what?
into that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying let's dive into that.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you think about it, right? It's October 10th, Warner Brothers Studios, Burbank, California. I mean, you could have a better backdrop
Hmm.
to introducing a new product. And what I understand, I do vaguely recall this when they introduced the Solar City panels for the roof of homes. They were almost like shingles, if you can recall, instead of being like the solar system, solar power systems panel systems as we see them today. They're supposed to be shingles, and I remember that and how they set up that whole backdrop to kind of use like a real life neighborhood. So they're gonna do
Yeah.
the same thing here, and I'm
Mm.
telling you, I'm so excited because I'm really interested to see how these robo taxis go through the neighborhoods. Hopefully, they put some fake, you know,
People in there.
people people in there
Mannequins.
to demonstrate the technology.
Right.
And I would say the other big thing that I'm excited about is, you know, it's it's going to be totally distinct. It's going to be totally different from Waymo.
Mm.
Waymo,
I was going to ask you
honestly, it looks ugly, man. Let's say it straight.
that.
I mean, I was in Phoenix. My goodness, I had to be 4 or 5 months ago. I was in Phoenix
Okay.
4 or 5 months ago, and that was the first time I saw the driverless car in Phoenix. You got the way, and
Mhm.
it drove by, and I like had to take a double, it's like double take. And
Right.
let me tell you, the first thing I noticed was, I mean, look, I know it wasn't it was a driverless car, but what got
Right.
my attention was how ugly it looked. So
Not the fact there was no driver
no,
in the
forget the
driver's seat.
technology. Technology wasn't important at that point, right?
I
So
got
I'm
you.
like, all right, and I thought to myself, what I get in that vehicle, and of course, what it has the lidar, has the radar on there. I get it. It's for safety purposes. You want to make sure that when people get in the car, it's safe. So that's first and foremost. Forget aesthetics. Forget aesthetics. First and foremost, safety.
Hmm.
I have to say, I'm looking forward to Tesla being able to bring this product forward because, first of all, Tesla is you don't. There's no such thing as a Waymo car. Waymo only exists because of the driverless feature,
Right. Okay. So that's
right?
an add-on. That's an add-on, right?
Exactly,
Add-on.
exactly.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what we as enthusiasts, right, seeing the
Yeah.
vehicle that we like to
Yeah.
actually have this feature and be able to bring it to market. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit leery of will the technology at the highest levels work, right? You got the level 0 to level 5, 5 being complete control, AI control of the vehicle, 0 being, hey, it's just like you drive a regular car, right?
Hmm.
I'm expecting it to be probably a 3 or 4 at the end of the day.
Oh, wow. The robo taxi.
The robo taxi,
Robo
right,
taxi.
right,
Right.
and what I read was apparently Tesla does not have a license to be able to have the robo taxi feature without a driver.
Mm.
So you still have to have a driver in the car. And I think I'm expecting that this demo that they'll do here on October 10th to be with the driver, unfortunately. But if it'll be exciting if they don't have it. It'll be
Right.
exciting if they don't have it. But that's what I'm expecting.
Right. I got it. I got it. I got it. So where do you see this kind of going? Do you see this as being a competitor? Because it's going to happen. Look, it's going to happen.
Right.
Right. It's going to happen. Right. So do you see this as competition with the ride sharing programs as Uber and
Absolutely.
Lyft?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think they should be very concerned if Tesla can get to this L4, L5 stage. Like that's the window right there. They should be
Right.
extremely concerned. Apparently, Waymo is doing 100,000 trips per week.
Mm.
100,000 trips per week. And think about that in perspective. Arguably, Tesla probably has, I mean, I guess depending on how you look at it, there's a fleet out there. Again, I'm not sure they're going to create new vehicles or they're going to use what's out there in the marketplace, what's already out
Okay.
here produced. But
Okay.
let's assume for now that it's what's out here. It's your car, it's my car, it's the car sitting that was sold and sold back to transferred back to Tesla because they wanted to get an upgrade and go from Model Y to Model X or what have you. And if Waymo is doing in 3 markets almost 100,000
Trips a week,
trips
right?
a week, can you imagine what Tesla's going to do? And it will just, and apparently the price point for Waymo is way below the Uber and Lyft. And frankly,
Mhm.
people take, and what I've read again, my research is that people are not even interested in taking they prefer to take the Waymo because they don't want to talk to a driver.
Ah,
They don't want to talk to a driver. I just want to get in the
wow.
car. I want to get in the car and go about my business. I don't want you to ask me any questions. I don't I don't want your camera looking at me.
Wow.
I just want to go.
You just want to go.
Want to go. So what do you think about when you? I mean, give me your thoughts. What do you think? I mean, look, Tesla got all these units out here. I mean,
Yeah.
are we talking about 100,000 a week is going to be like peanuts eventually?
Right. That's right. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting because for one, they're not going to have to pay the driver, right? I mean, that's a big cost savings on that. And yeah, they just have more. Yeah, and on top of that, they've got the vehicles.
Right.
They've got the vehicles. So once again, they can control the value stream. So say for instance, maybe it's a if they know it's going to be a robo taxi, do they put in all the features as a regular Tesla, as a Model 3?
Right.
Maybe it's another a dumbed down version, right? That
Yeah.
gives them even more cost, you know, making more cost competitive, right? So it they just got another lever to pull, right?
Yeah.
They got another lever to pull, and they've got the data.
They
Once
got the
again,
data. That's
once again, they've got the data. They've got the data. They've
that,
got
and
the
that's the secret. And that's the secret sauce.
yeah,
If you got the data and you have, and they got the infrastructure. Because frankly, what I don't know about the Waymo is, car starts losing power. What are you charging? Tesla got the infrastructure already.
right, right.
Those charge stations are everywhere.
But the Waymo, I saw the Waymo hooked up to a Jag, like a Jag SUV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so is that Jag gas powered, or is it on ice?
You know what? That's a good one. I have no idea. So you're
Yeah,
saying that it was a Jaguar and it had the Waymo like
yeah,
cameras and
yep. It was a Jaguar. So I
hmm,
didn't I didn't I didn't catch what model it was,
okay.
but I know it was a Jaguar.
So now I guess I didn't realize that. So what you're telling me is that in my mind, wait, they had their own car, but it sounds like you're just saying is you put the technology on a car.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah,
See, now I learned something new here. Yeah. So again, back to what we were talking about.
mm-hmm.
If Elon Musk can get this technology up to the L5, I think it's going to be a complete game changer for all the reasons I mentioned. But I think just to kind of go back to what you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
will Uber and Lyft all of a sudden begin to adopt this technology?
Hmm.
Because again, what's the backdrop of Uber and Lyft right now? Unions.
That's right. That's right. Hey, I just looked that up. So it's the Jaguar I-Pace,
Okay,
and no, it's a battery powered. So
it's a
it's
battery.
so
Okay,
it's electric. It's electric.
okay.
Yeah.
But again, once again, it's not the technology is not that Waymo has their own vehicle. It's that you take Waymo's tech and you can put it onto any
Right.
EV.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is interesting, actually. Um, well, I mean, could you put the Waymo technology on a Tesla? I mean, why haven't they done it on a Tesla? To what's the,
Yeah.
what's the difference? And I would imagine that, between Jaguar, Rivian, all these other manufacturers, GM with the Cruise, and GM with the my goodness, I think they're gonna have a new EV SUV.
Mm,
Why not attach that technology to it? So
right.
now it's almost like begging the question of whether or not you're gonna have what it's begging the question of what's the point of what Tesla's doing then, when you can
Mm,
just take the Waymo technology. Again, my position is that aesthetically it doesn't look good. I'm just being honest with you, right?
right.
It doesn't
Right.
look
Yep.
good.
Yep.
Just honestly, um, it's not your vehicle, so you probably don't care. I'm just getting from point A to point B. Done. I move on.
Right.
My preference, I want to get in a Tesla. I would like to ride inside of a Tesla to get
Mm-hmm.
from my point A to point B, and you know, and honestly, I don't even know. I mean, haven't been in the other EVs, so
Uh-huh.
the power, the reliability, and not for nothing, but guess what? Elon has been working on this for a long time. Tesla's
Right.
been working on this for a long time. You know, combined with, like you said, the data plus the technology they have for the camera technology they have on their cars. I, I have my doubts that Waymo's is when Tesla's. I have my doubts that Waymo at the end will be better than Tesla.
Mm,
I have my doubts,
right.
but there's some other things to talk about here, and I just want to make sure we put them on the table. You know, and we kind of hint, touched on this some weeks ago. Regulation.
Mm, okay.
We're talking about all this stuff, the
Right.
tech, Waymo, Tesla, GM, whoever. But at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to regulation.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
now can we? Apparently, there's data out there that suggests that the technology is probably safer than me and you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because computers don't get distracted. Frankly,
That's right.
they, they
That's right.
they don't get they're not gonna get distracted. I mean, right now we're gonna get something freak. You hear some loud noise, some bang right now. You be like, hey, hold on for a minute. I'm gonna go and check that out.
Right.
AI gonna keep chucking along
That's
here,
right.
doing the discussion, etc. So that is, um, I think that is value. I think that's value that we would have to appreciate. Now people are saying, and again, you and I kind of talked about this before. Are How safe do we really feel in this technology? Maybe I'm being naive.
Mm,
I'm good with it. I had the
mhm.
experience. I'm good with the technology. I have no doubts right now. Can it get better? Yes. Apparently, when the next level up is the version 13, and that version 13 is supposed to be even like 10x better than what we've seen already. What was it? 12.6, I think.
Right. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let's think about this when you were talking. Would there be any hesitancy in the adaptation of the FSD if all the vehicles on the road were FSD?
Hmm. Capable. FSD capable, or it's FSD activated.
FSD active. If all the vehicles were FSD active, they're all computer driven, right? I'm not concerned whether someone got in the vehicle and had a little too much to drink. That's not
No,
going to happen. That
not
doesn't
gonna
happen,
happen.
right?
Road rage
Road, not
gone.
going to happen.
You cut
Right?
me off.
Not gonna happen.
I'm done. So you think about quality of life again. Maybe it's a stretch, but quality of life to a certain extent. I mean, all the stress of driving your car. I love to drive my car. I love to go fast, but
Right.
if when I had the FSD, I used it pretty much all the time.
Bloop, bloop.
That's it. That's it. That's it's a great technology. And, you got me thinking. I mean, literally, and you've been to my house before.
Right.
It's not. There's limit. It's like being right there on your main street. I won't say what the street it is, but on the main street, leaving your subdivision. If
Right.
there was an accident there, you're not leaving that area. You're stuck.
Right.
You got one lane. I got two lanes, but I'm gonna tell you, last week there was a casualty one block over.
Oh wow.
This entire area was jammed up.
Mm.
You couldn't leave if you wanted to go from my house to the main avenue, either going
Right.
south or going north.
Right.
We were stuck. We were stuck in traffic for like 30 minutes. I couldn't believe it. Just to get to that first light, leaving my subdivision. 30
Gee,
minutes.
30 minutes.
Unfortunately, I lost a life.
Mm.
When I think about that, and I think about what we're talking about here in terms of this technology, would it save? Would have saved that person's life? I don't know. I would like to believe that our numbers will come down to more people that are relying on the technology.
Right. Right.
More people relying on technology. I bet that being said, I got a good one for you.
Okay.
You got FSD. It's activated. And, a little dog runs out. And your car hits that dog.
Mm.
Or, to make it less severe, runs over some bicycle that was left in the street because, the kid was excited. He wanted to go inside to get some ice cream. And he left his bike out there.
Right.
And the FSD just ignores it and runs over the bike. All right.
Right.
Kids upset. Parents are like, hey, what are you doing? You psycho. You're driving down the subdivision street. It's like 15 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, whatever it is. And you had FSD on. Are you responsible?
Mm.
Where do we
Yeah. 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 Where do you draw the line at?
where do we
Right.
draw the line?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's those are the things we got to work out, and that's part of where I think where the government oversight and the regulation comes in. Because because think about it. Oh man, you don't open up a can. You open up a can, Sadat. Who are the lawyers going to sue? Who's
All
more
right.
going to sue? They're going to be mad.
Right.
They're going to
Right.
be mad,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
They're going
Yeah.
to be mad. They're going to be mad. They're going to be mad.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
So yeah, that's interesting.
that's it's a dilemma because I want to I would like to use that technology without concern.
Right.
Well, if something happens, I know, at least in the way I'm seeing it, I don't think Tesla is gonna come in with the say, hey, we're taking responsibility. It's gonna be onto us, the owner,
Right.
which kind of then makes you say, wait a minute, I'm using the technology you're giving me. I'm utilizing the technology that you installed in the car with the expectation it's going to have a certain level of performance.